In my last video, I showed how I find some of the different ideas that I add to my list for to look into and see if they're good products or private label. So I'll just show you the list I came up with. I'll just go off the same list I made in the last video. Um, Here is the list. It's basically an orange peeler, bitters, like for drinks, a tortilla press, a flamingo straw, and an orange juicer thingy. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is there's a couple of different ways of evaluating these things. So I have a rubric that I use to evaluate all these products. I kind of internalized this already up to myself, but I just wrote it out for some other coaching clients, and so I figured I could just share that and show you kind of how I run through these things. So there are 5 things that are important, and I'll show you the rubric. More than 5 items, and I'll highlight the 5 that are most important, but also all these things are kind of important. So I made this little rubric. You can see there's like a column for 1, 2, 0, 1, and 2 points. So I have these different aspects that make the product a good product or a bad product to sell on Amazon FBA. So size, that's one of the most important items. You want it to be under 18 by 14 by 8 inches. Okay, and the reason why you want that is because Amazon has a certain size limit. If you do a product that's larger than 18 inches, you pay an extra $4 or $5 in shipping costs because it's an oversized item, and there's some inventory limits and some other issues that are really annoying. Same thing with weight. You can look up the equation of how much it costs to ship certain weight, but just overall, those things are going to be more expensive. If you're under a pound, then that's great. If you're under 5 pounds, that's great. Over 5 pounds, that's kind of bad. Stay away from it. Again, you can just put on this rubric. Not everything's perfect. Put on this rubric and you get 0 points, right? If it's over 5 pounds. Durable, just make sure it doesn't break, right? You can read through this if you want, whatever, to get some more ideas. BSR, this stands for Best Seller Rank. I use Jungle Scout to show how much these things sell. I usually like to look at things that so it really has to sell more than 100 a month. You can't wholesale it if you are selling less than 100 per month, unless there's some special case. I mean, if you're selling like a $300 item and you're selling 50 units a month, that's still pretty good revenue. That actually might make sense, but you don't want to sell like a $20 item and only sell 50 of them a month. That sucks. 300 is really good. More than 300 is better. I would maybe say that a 0 on the scale is if it's more than 1,000. More than 1,000. Put it as a 0 because that is actually bad. That means there's too much there's too much of a saturated market or it's likely the market is competitive and saturated. So I always like to go after things that are very not competitive. Brand dominated. Retail price, make sure the best is like between 20 and 40 bucks. Electronic, best is non-electronic. You don't want to sell something that's really complicated like an iPhone. Batteries are okay, but it's not great. Gated category, that is if like baby stuff and lotion is like beauty supplies are a gated category. It just adds a little bit extra that you don't really want to get into. Brand building, if it's easy to make a group like an Instagram. Imagine someone following this on Instagram. Is someone going to follow on Instagram about dish towels? No, they're really not. I mean, you could make some really cool kitchen something or others about kitchen cleanliness, whatever. But you're really not going to be able to push dish towels. That's dumb. What about sunglasses? Absolutely, people love sunglasses. Or what about maybe some diet thing, so like a gluten-free diet. I guarantee there are 1,000 Instagrams, 1,000 email lists, 1,000 blogs about gluten-free eating. That's huge, right? So if you can build a brand, that's great. Your interest, pick something you like. If you don't have a baby, don't sell baby stuff. I mean, unless you're like, unless you're about to have a baby and you really love babies and you have a baby sister or baby cousin, sell baby stuff. But if you don't have a baby, you don't care about babies, don't sell baby stuff. If you don't care about, if you don't care about, I don't know, nail polish or toenail polish because you're a guy, right? Like you don't care about nail polish. You don't know anything about it. You don't care about it. Don't sell it, right? Sell something you're interested in. Sell health and fitness. Sell some video games. Sell whatever it is you're interested. Sell that thing. Profit margins. This is probably the most important. Uh, there are lots of products that have over 35% margin. I have some things that have like 45% margin and sell really well. You're not always going to find something that's 35% margin. And of course, I'm guessing you probably know how to calculate margin, but it's the cost of production. It's the retail price. Um, it's how much you make on each sale. So that would be something like you know, retail price minus cost of production minus shipping minus Amazon fees minus returns minus all those different things. So let's say you make $10. You have a $30 item, you make $10. That would be 1/3 profit margin, 33%. So that would put you right here at the 1 point. You're almost, maybe you might be 1.5% if you're at 33%, right? Competitive. This is super important. If there's more than 15 sellers, do not sell it. If there's less than 10 sellers, that's great. I honestly go for some things that are like 2 sellers. I just really don't want to be in a competitive market. So 2 sellers is awesome. How I evaluate, I'm going to use this rubric on these products. Okay, so this juicer thingy. So this is a hand press juicer. Hand press juicer. Okay, so right away, and let's just ignore these ones. These are kind of a different market than this kind of desktop one. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of the same thing. 6, 7-ish. That's kind of desktop. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, this is, I'm just on the first page. 14, 15, 16. Yeah, this is not good. This is really competitive. Like, there's so many people who are selling the same item. And look, it's just like this kind of, I don't know, let's take a closer look. You can see how exactly same how all these products are. So let's just see this orange one versus this black one. These are 2 different companies. I'll make the text a little bigger so you can, so hopefully it's easier to see in the video. Oops. Okay, so you can see here, this is Coz, which is a weird name for a company. But look, it's orange, but it has this kind of 3 screw contraption with a vertical bar and, vertical bar, a little, whatever that is, little cup, and a stand, a little heavy stand. Okay, let's look at the black one. It's a different company. Look, 3 little pins, a little cup, and a stand. It's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. So that's super competitive. And if we look at these other products, they're exactly the same thing. 3 little pivot points, the vertical stand, the cup, and the stand, the hard bottom, whatever you call that thing, the little stand thing in the bottom. Same thing. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. That's the same thing. So this is really competitive. I also like to look at the photos. So this guy has all of his photos. He has great photos of this is very clear what's happening. This is 4 oranges. Here's the item by itself. Shows oh look, you can juice anything you want, any of these juices, whatever, and shows exactly how the item looks when it's in the open state, and here's some focus on the details. These are a great example of how you should have your photos. So a basic great explanatory photo, another kind of regular describing photo, Some options of shows possibilities. Show that as a focus on detail, focus on features, right, and benefits. Also shows another focus on features and benefits. Yeah, this is a great photo setup. The only thing I would add to this is maybe a lifestyle photo. Add a woman squishing oranges in a beautiful kitchen. But other than that, and maybe like one photo that has like text on it describing like how super cool it is. In fact, I think that actually. Oh yeah, look at this. So lifestyle photo. Here we go. These photos are even better. It shows exactly how it works, right? You kind of go. There's the down state. There's the open state. Here's a little lifestyle photo. You actually see it on a counter. It's totally Photoshop, but here's a little bit of description of like exactly what is happening. So these are great photos, and use this as a look at this. You see exactly how it works, right? Here's the beginning. Tells like almost tells like a little story, right? Here's the beginning. Here's the first step, the second step, the third step. Now it has orange juice. Very clear what's happening, right? These are great photos. Copy these ideas. Do not compete against these people. This is way too good. Do not compete against these people. So I'm just going to scratch this guy off my list right now. Delete. Okay, let's go with bidders. I'm going to run Jungle Scout. So this guy's over 1,000, a little bit over 1,000, but not too much, right? So actually that's pretty good. I like that. Here's this other person selling bidders. Look, okay, price point. It's great. Look at all these things. They're all within the great price point, $20 to $40. This one is pretty close. That's pretty good. There's a little bit. So there's something called depth of market. If you can see that there's several different people who are selling kind of a percentage of the top guy. So if you want to see 5 or 6 people who are selling, the top guy might be selling 1,000. You want to see like a couple other people who are selling 300, 500, 200, 100, something like that, right? So you want to see kind of like there's other people. It's not just dominated by one company because that company is probably really branded. So these are pretty good actually. 800, 400, 200. The different companies I don't really know much about this industry, but nothing's really jumping out to me as a really brand. It's not like a Jack Daniels brand, right? I don't want to compete against Jack Daniels. But these are pretty good. Price points are great, so let's just go ahead and go and dive into, let's pick these top 3 and just take a real quick peek. Agnostra. Angostura? That's a horrible name. Okay, so right there, maybe let's do a better name. This, I don't know, is this part of the bitter style? This packaging is horrible. I mean, I don't know, it's just, what? Are you going to read? What is this nonsense right here? Are you going to read all these little words and stuff? I seriously doubt it. Plus, it looks kind of sloppy. It looks like, I don't know, is it supposed to look like that? I mean, it's part of the brand, I'm not sure. Pictures, what? The picture's dirty. Wow. Okay. Well, oh man, that just seems so unprofessional. And it's like crimpled. These are terrible photos. These are C minus at best. I always love having a photo that shows how big the item is. People have this weird thing where they think every time you take a picture close up, people will think this is literally a 3-pound bottle. Even though it says clearly it's a 4-ounce bottle, this thing is about the size of your thumb, right? Maybe a little bigger, maybe the size of your index finger. People will think, oh, I thought this was a gallon. I'm sad that I spent $20 and it's not a gallon. So having a perspective photo, this is great. I personally don't like the shadow. I like actually a human holding it. Find someone with pretty fingernails, or someone, or stand it next to a fridge on a counter or next to a sink, so you can really, or this is for cocktails. Put it next to a cocktail shaker. You can kind of tell like how big the glass is. Have a hand reaching. Maybe have have like a barista, or not barista, we call it like a bartender, I guess. A bartender with a fancy mustache, fancy curly mustache, and a vest on, and show him taking a drink and plopping these in the top. That's awesome. That shows exactly how big it is, shows exactly what to do with it, how would you, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, this is pretty good. This is kind of checking off all the things that I like. So the size is less than 18 inches. It's less than a pound. These things are only 4 ounces each. Durable. It's probably, it depends how you package it. It's probably somewhere between 1 and 2. I mean, it's glass. BSR. The thing is selling, it's over 300 units. I mean, it's right at the 1,000. So it's kind of on the edge of being too much, but it doesn't seem too competitive. Not brand dominated. I don't know what this Angostura. Oh, such a horrible name. That's not a real brand. Retail price is good. Not electronic. Not a gated category. Actually, it is edible. I'm not sure about edible things, so careful on the edible things. Brand building. You could release all these different pamphlets on the best cocktails to make, and like you could share it on Instagram and Pinterest. You can imagine showing like this. Imagine having a video of this bartender with a fancy mustache showing someone how to make a drink and how to use your product. Definitely could build a brand around it. Are you interested? I mean, I like cocktails. I don't know if you're someone who's a teetotaler who can't drink, probably shouldn't be selling products that are alcohol related. So something depends on how interested you're in. Profit margins, I don't know. You're the finance supplier, but I can imagine for 8 ounces of liquid, I doubt it's going to cost more than $10 or $5 to make this. So I bet you the profit margin is pretty good. It's at least probably a 1 on the scale, maybe a 2. Who knows? Competitive. It's not too competitive. I mean, they're not the same thing, right? Like this is a different package. This is totally different. That's also totally different. This is also totally different. These are all they're really not the same thing. It's unlike that orange peeler where it's literally the same device over and over and over again. So these are looking really good. I would definitely put this as a let's go ahead and actually talk to some suppliers and find this might be a good product, right? Same thing. I probably don't need to go through, but I'll just say quickly, fits that again. It's under a pound. It fits that price point. That's great. Pictures these are good. These are probably a solid B. The lighting's good. Again, you want a photo of like that one guy with the show the three friends all sitting around a table sharing a drink, and you can see that these 3 little bottles are right there on the table, and they just and one 2 friends are laughing and one friend is pouring in their drinks. Just like build this whole like, wow, this is what you can do with this. Like, how cool is this thing, right? So I'd say these are solid B. You could definitely improve. I mean, there's a little bit of improvement to do, but they're good. They're good. So overall, okay. Look at this. There are so many. How many did these sell? Let's just double check. 266 sales. This guy's making $10,000 per month. This is per month. These numbers. $10,000, 9,600 something. He's selling couple bottles, 2 ounces. So this is 8 ounces of bitters. This is great. You can offer. I bet you could offer something like, okay, this is spicy cherry orange chocolate. Maybe offer 3 of them. Maybe offer a 5th one. Offer. There's a lot of things you can do here to offer a different package. There's so many products on Amazon that have a single photo that has a white background. Come on, man. Like, let's get something better than that. Like, it is a nice photo. It is. I mean, it is good. Like, lighting's nice, and you can really see the labels very well. But like again, add some close-up photos. Take a picture of the dropper, right? This little dropper. This is a selling point. This other one, they don't have droppers. This is a huge selling point. Guess what? It's going to be so much easier. Show a picture of the actual dropper holding the perfect amount. The 4.6 milliliters is perfectly measured in this dropper. So that's perfect. And again, another lifestyle photo, and then maybe another photo, maybe like, I don't know, nutritional facts, or like some other photo about where they came from. Like, are these sourced in the Rocky Mountains, or sourced in the Tennessee Mountains, or some, something like that. Like, you can, take the packaging looks nice. Maybe take another picture of the packaging, right? So far, great. Bitters, I'm definitely putting in my let's look into this later product. Okay, I'll do one more just to kind of show how I am evaluating these. Let's go with flamingo straws. This is kind of cool, right? In my last video, I described some ways you could package this different. This person is selling, I think, 300 units. Yeah, 233 units. So this is out of my price range. Like I said, I like the $20 to $40 price point. So how do we get this up to 20 bucks? Maybe sell 10 of them, right? Sell a party pack. And if you 10 of these probably is worth 20 bucks. So this person's selling 230 units. So that, I don't know. It's definitely kind of in the bottom range. I'm not sure if this is really something that might be too cheap for you to go after, but so it's kind of on the low end, but it's probably a really easy product to source in China. I guarantee something like this is from China. It's a piece of plastic, a piece of paper, right? So let's go ahead and just double check to see how competitive it is. I'm going to grab flamingo straw. Oh, look at that, 40 count. All right, this kind of looks competitive. So there's a lot of flamingo straws. Well, yeah. Let's just see what the market looks like. Let's see how deep it is. That sucks. I like to filter most things by revenue. So also that's not a flamingo thing. Okay, so that's not flamingo straw. That's the missing one. Okay, so these items, they're really not at the right price point. I mean, here's 4 dozen drink things. So they're already offering a package of 4 dozen. That's a lot. And they're at a $8 price point, 300. I mean, that's I don't know. That's really outside of my price range. You really, because Amazon is going to take a huge portion of this. Their shipping is at least $5. So you're gonna only be taking home, if you're lucky, $3, maybe $4. And then if your cost to produce this and to ship in the United States costs $2-3, you're making $1 on this. That sucks. The profit margin is just not there. The price is too cheap. If you have some returns, like, you're kind of screwed. A couple of returns are going to destroy your profit margin because of the cost of shipping and everything. There's not a lot of depth, right? I mean, the top guy in tropical drinks, not even flamingos, selling 300. Second guy is selling 200. These aren't 50. There's already a 50 pack. That's kind of cool, that what I said you should do, but this person's only selling 50 of these. So I would mark this. I would kill this. This is really not very good. So as you can see, we drilled in. You can drill in on these tortilla presses were pretty cool, but here I just looked at 3. Looked at the competition. Again, I went off this rubric, which was size, weight, durability, BSR, sales rank, brand dominated, retail price, electronic, gated, branded, brand building ability, whether you're interested or not, the profit margin, how competitive it is. I looked at 3, and 2 fell short, and 1's awesome. Bitters, I might look into this. I might start talking to some Chinese suppliers or maybe some American suppliers and find bitters. So that right there, if you can build a little brand around bitters and offer, like I said, these guys are selling $12,000 a month. That's what, $150,000 a year in revenue. That's pretty good. Maybe offer, and you can maybe offer like 2, 3, 4 different packages. You know, offer a 5-pack and a 3-pack and a 1-pack and a special chocolate, limited edition chocolate case, or maybe, you know, whatever. Maybe 8 ounces of a really popular one. So if you offered, if you had a brand that had 5 different packages and each one's doing $10,000, that's $50,000 a month, which is 600, at least 600K a year. That's fantastic. That's great. That's a whole, that right there's a whole income. You know, you could retire off of that, right? You can make $500,000 a year on just bitters. That's great. So take your list. Now generating this list is in a different video you can look up. But take your list and then start sorting it by the how much, just sorting it by what you think sells well.